What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. This is going to be your review for The Retreat, Season 1, Episode 3. So we pick up where we left off. They're at the breakfast table. Eric has, he has stormed off. He's up in his room, or the room, whatever. And Trey Howard goes after him to talk to him, and listen, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I went back and forth with Eric this whole episode because at the end of the day, like, I was with Eric until his confessionals. Like, Eric, I was with you because I feel like if they said what they said, they said what they said. Okay, if Dre Simba said it, then he damn said it. I don't think the comment you made about Robert was that big of a deal. I understand why. I said it in my last review. I understand why it became an issue because, you said it around his friends. And, if you talk shit to me if you talking shit in front of me about one of my friends, it's gonna be an issue. But in the grand scheme of things, it was a little light shade. It was what it was. But they come back downstairs. Now, Reese is upset because Reese really feel like he tried it. Like, you really came for me. And he just didn't appreciate, I guess, how Eric came at him. It's what his expectation was. The fact that he was talking shit about him in a whole nother situation. Excuse me. And so I get it, but I didn't get it. But when we got to his confessionals and he keep trying to read people, that's the part. That is where you be losing me, Robert. Nope. I got Robert on my brain. My bad. Eric, that's where you be losing me, Eric. I have to put my DC on it, Eric. And DC it's Eric. It's not Eric. It's Eric. So I'm gonna put my DC on it, Eric. That's where you be losing me, Eric. Okay. So we got the astrologer there, and so they said we're gonna do an exercise. Okay, we're gonna let everybody go take a shower, get themselves together, and we're gonna have an exercise. Okay. Here's where I feel like this trip, and YB said it the other day. We did an interview on YB Entertainment's channel, the Justice League, with Reese G, and some of these things we did discuss. But y'all know I like to review what I see in front of me. I don't want to bring in other conversations and other things that have influenced me. I'm just going to review what I see in front of me. Now, but YB brought up a good point that this situation would have probably been better served if this had been sort of like a reunion, so to speak, of Chasing Dallas Season 1, Season 2. Now, Reese said that he did extend the invitation to some people from Season 1 and some people from Season 2. And I feel like this, because we go through a series of exercises, and I think these are some really, really great exercises, but I think that it would have been better served with a group of people who have issues. That's just my opinion. I would have loved to have seen a Tony Price in the room. I would love to have seen a Markel in the room. I would love to have seen, hell, even Antonio in the room. I would have loved to have seen a George in the room. People who legitimately have some issues with each other, that they have something to work out. Because some of these exercises, I think, were great exercises, but didn't have the full impact, because you were surrounded with people who didn't really have that much of a history. But we're going to get to the exercises now. Before we get to the exercises, the astrologist sat down with Eric to have a moment and have a conversation. Now listen, I'm not about to sit here and recite his sun sign, his rising star, his moon sign. He an Aries and he like the air and he don't like to be confined and he be all over the place. I got that. He has a Cancer rising. I'm a Cancer, so my ears perked up a little bit when he was talking about Cancers, because I was like, for real? And one thing he said about Cancers I thought was very interesting, that Cancers like people to think that they sensitive. I feel like I am sensitive, though. I feel like I put on a front. A lot of people don't realize how sensitive I really am. My feelings get hurt a lot, and I don't think it's an act. I think I really am sensitive, but I put on a front. Now everybody can't hurt my feelings. Let's be clear. I have to really give a damn. Like random people saying shit about me I don't care. But people who know me and then they make comments, that can hurt my feelings. I'm very sensitive like that. But neither here nor there. I'm perking up and I'm listening. And he went through this whole chart reading, right? Which I thought was interesting. I keep going left. Let me get back to the middle. I say all that to say that the astrologer said at the end of the day, Eric was full of shit. Now listen, that thing made me laugh, okay? Because this man is professional. He went through this whole chart. Like, he had a full explanation. But at the end of the day, his summation of Eric was, he full of shit. He's putting on the act. He's pretending. Because that's the impression I got. But I thought it was just me in my shady mind. Because the minute he started, he said, tell me about your father. He was like, oh. And it was like he was pulling that emotion. And that's not to say that people don't have emotions and that there aren't things there. But it just didn't ring authentic to me in that moment. So when the curator / astrologer said, yeah, he full of shit, I said, well, there's that. And at that point, I kind of tuned out the rest of the conversation because I was like, well, if he full of shit, why I'm listening? He asked him about his daddy. He asked him, were you in an abusive situation? And I feel like he did this whole roundabout, circle back, forth, and then said, I don't want to talk about that. Well, hell, nothing. You don't want to talk about it no more. I didn't hear what you said the first time. Anyway, so they talk, and then after they get done with their conversation, he gives him some homework, and basically he tells him, listen, I want you to take off your mask. I want you to be authentic and true. I want you to open yourself up to meeting these people and getting to know these people. I don't know if that's what Eric heard. but that's what I heard. Okay. So we get into the group, and the first exercise is basically we're going to go around the room, and you're going to say something to somebody in the room, but the person who's receiving it has to put a piece of tape over their mouth so that they can hear it and not be ready to respond. I was told one time, and I don't remember where I heard it the first time. I've heard it a few times. I don't remember the first. I don't know who I can give. Credit for me hearing it the first time, but I'll say this. In a conversation, there should be a pause in between responses because you should be listening. And so when someone is talking, you should be listening to what they're saying, and there should be a pause for you to respond. Because if you're just ready to jump, that means you weren't listening to understand. You were only listening to respond. So when someone is talking, there should be a pause. So what he was doing was forcing the pause. You got to put a piece of tape over your mouth so that you can't speak. And we started with Ariel, and Ariel sort of threw up an alley-oop. She went to Reese, and she basically was like, I just think that you're an amazing person. I think that you get, a raw deal sometimes. People don't really get to know you and really get to be opened up to your authentic self, right? And I was just like, okay, all right. Then we went to, I don't know if this was next. I'm just going to order that I know. We went to Dior and Trey Howard. Let me be honest. I thought I had picked up on some energy. Now, come to find out that Dior and Trey Howard have not been in the best place about it. He said a couple of months back, they got into a really bad argument and they weren't speaking. And he said it was really hard on him because Dior is like a father to him, and he is somebody that he talks to and needs to let know what's going on in his life and what's going on in his world and how he feels about certain things and get his advice and just be that person for him. And so it was really, really hard. Now, he ain't getting to what the argument was about, and it really ain't our business. I'll be honest with you. I don't even want to know. It ain't my business. But I thought I picked up on that energy in the first episode. Like, I didn't feel like they greeted each other, but I felt like it was that uneasiness there between them. And, he basically let him know, listen, I love you, and, you're important to me, and I'm glad that you came, and I'm glad that we're here to have this moment. And Dior gave him a hug, and it was a moment, and it was cool. Dre Simba opened up and talked about, Reese giving him an opportunity and how, he's lost opportunities because of him, his mouth, his actions, and that he appreciates the fact that Reese gave him a chance. Lord, we get to Eric and Reese. Now listen, Reese, maybe it's just me, y'all. Maybe it is just me. I really don't think what Eric said was that serious. I just don't. But again, Eric's confessionals, like I wanna kind of have your back, because I don't think that what you said was that deep, and I do think they kind of piling on you. But then you get your confessionals and you be trying to read people, and it comes off so fake, so out of left field, so rehearsed. Like you talking about some Reese, you need to be focused on them book sales. I heard they low. Where that even coming from? Like, you and your confessional on some whole left shit, and it don't have nothing to do with nothing. It don't even make no sense. Where his book even come from? Ain't nobody even said nothing about that book. Networking Honey by Reese G. Ain't nobody said nothing. Damn. So I feel like you make it hard for people like me who really don't feel like what you said was a big deal, but then you get in your confessional and it be a whole nother thing. So that didn't end well because Reese and Eric ended up sort of getting into it again, so it didn't really end well. Now, Dior was talking to Eric and letting Eric know, listen, I want to like you, bruh, but I just need you to understand you got to be careful about what you saying and who you saying it around. And that's what I said last week. It wasn't even so much what he said was that serious. It's who he said it around. Because again, if you was amongst a bunch of your friends and y'all was just down to the brunch and you was like, girl, I was scrolling the gram and I saw this nail tech, baby, he had grills and tattoos all on his face. I ain't never seen that before. It would be a kiki and we would move on. But if that person you was talking about was my brother, now we got a problem. You see what I'm saying? And that's what happened to Eric. And so Dior was just trying to let him know, like, listen, I don't even have no issue with you. I ain't mad at you or nothing. But you just got to be mindful of what you said, who you said around, and understand why you got the reaction out of me. Because for real, me and Robert are brothers. And he would have my back just like I got his back. And for real, he probably would have did more than what I did. And I feel like Eric received it. Don't know if he did or not, but I feel like he did. Then we're doing an exercise, a walk in somebody else's shoes, where you give that person your shoe and you have to sort of, I guess, figure out walk a day in their shoe. Like, I didn't get it. I didn't really understand this exercise, honestly. But once again, we going around the room, and you know, Dre Simple was like, this would be a good exercise because they don't really know me and I don't really know them, and this would be a good opportunity for us to kind of really get to know each other. Now, part of the reason why I ain't really follow this exercise that much is because the sound was a little bit off. I really couldn't hear people that well in this exercise, so I missed a lot of it. I'm just gonna be honest. I just gotta be real about the shit. I ain't hear it. I heard the second part where Ariel gave her shoe to Eric, and she was telling Eric, listen, I think that, you know, you really are just trying to find your way with this group. You might have made some missteps. You might be trying a little too hard, but just be yourself. Just be real to who you are. Be authentic in who you are. And, you know, you don't really have to try so hard. I feel like that's what she was trying to say to him. Like, listen, you know, we want to get to know you. We want to like you, but, you know, you was doing a little much, and we need you to kind of just, you know, slow it down a little bit. So then it was his turn. He takes his shoe off, and instead of handing it to somebody, he gonna give it to himself. Bitch, that's not how the exercise works. You can't get a shoe to yourself. You supposed to be letting other people understand how to walk a mile in your shoes. You can't decide. You can't decide that you just gonna change up the rules. That is some black people shit. We always want to take a game and change up our rules. We done fucked up Uno. We got 5,000 different versions of spades, okay? We done made everything and turned it into our own shit. Monopoly, everything. Eric, you can't change the rules, sir. Then you started coming for Dre Simba. Out of nowhere, you start talking about Dre Simba don't have nowhere to live and he homeless and he sleeping on people's floors. First of all, sir, whether it's true or it's not, once again, where did it come from? It's out of left field. For once, Drake Simba really won't bothering nobody. He was over there minding his good business. He was quiet. He was in the moment. He was going through the exercise. I don't even understand how Dre Summer got in it, because you and Reese was kind of going back and forth. And once again, I ain't going back and forth with that. I don't think it's that serious. But Reese, if you feel it and it hurt your feelings or it got you feeling some kind of way, I can't tell you how to feel. But I don't know how Dre Summer got into it. Okay, I just don't know how it went left there. And I feel like you caught Dre Summer at a good moment, because if Dre Summer had one of them big old cups in his hand, like he had down to that other show, and he threw that cup in somebody's face, I feel like you caught Dre Summer in between drinks and his cup was empty. Because I promise you, if he had a full cup sitting next to him, you would have been wet. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. That was the episode, y'all. That was it for me. Okay, I don't know where we're going next week, but because I ain't seen no previews for next week, I might have missed them. But I will be here, and y'all check out the interview we did with Reese G over to YB Entertainment TV's channel that was on Monday night. So y'all go check it. And I think he did an interview with him tonight, just a one-on-one interview with Reese tonight. So y'all go check those out, and I will see y'all on the other side. Peace.